All right, welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comics coming out this Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. This is the last week of the month, so it's kind of a short list because, as you know, DC doesn't like to release a lot of their regular titles. They lean on annuals and one-shots and specials and things like that. So the list may be a little bit shorter than normal this week, but that won't stop us as we're closing in on Halloween and getting ready to start a new month next week. But with that, I am finally back to my regular schedule of getting this back out on Monday. Thanks for being patient with me, as the last few weeks have been busy with Baltimore Comic-Con and my son turning 13. It's been a lot going on here over at the Renna household. So with all of that said, I'm hopefully back on track here with plenty of new shows planned to come your way. Hopefully you're enjoying them, but please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. You keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel, as we have grown leaps and bounds over the last year, but we can still keep going further. And with that, if you want to see this week's rundown, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so here we are starting off with the top of the stack. Now, this is my top of the pile. Can't wait. First come, first serve books. Once I get them, these will be the things I want to read first come this Wednesday when I get my books. And with this top of the stack, we are going to start off with a couple of books that don't quite fit into the huge events that might be going on right now, but still have a lot of interest for me personally. With that, the first one being The Death of the Silver Surfer #5. I am not really excited to see a replacement Silver Surfer, as I am a big Silver Surfer fan, but that doesn't mean I'm not interested in seeing this story and see how it goes. I am open to change. I'm willing to give this a shot and see how this goes, but here we are, the all-new Silver Surfer, as the Surfer is dead. Long live the Silver Surfer. Let's see how this storyline goes, as this is the final part of that storyline by Greg Pak, and we'll see how it all wraps up and where we go from here. Couple of covers on this one. We got the cover A, which is the one I'm probably going to grab, as well as a cover B. There you got Galactus with his back turned. Kind of interesting. There is a third cover, but we'll get to that later in one of the other segments. But for now, like I said, I'm probably just going to get the A and be good with that because I just really want to read this thing, as well as more Cosmic Marvel stuff with Imperial finally, it seems, wrapping up with issue 4. Was a great run, but yeah, that long delay kind of took a lot of momentum out of this for me, but I still enjoy this. I still want more cosmic stuff, and that's just my personal preference. And here we have very simple explanation of what's going on in issue 4, war. So wrapping up, see what the consequences are of this event, and see again what changes and what we might have to deal with the fallout of this event. But multiple covers here. Cover A is fine by me. There still is that connecting cover set, which is kind of cool, which is now wrapped up. But I'll show it to you here. Here's the connecting part 4, and then we connect it up with parts 3, 2, and 1. So pretty cool. I always like it when we see a nice connecting cover set and just seeing the big mural being presented with all the characters and this action sequence and scene, trying to pick out, people in the background, like, oh, look, there's Landria and Professor X way back in the background there, and there's Corsair, etc. Like, I love seeing that kind of stuff. So these are always fun, though I can't collect them all. And then we go back all the way to that first part with a lot of the Planet Hulk characters spotlighted there. Speaking of Planet Hulk, we do have She-Hulk now apparently stuck on that planet, and here's a cover of her, which is honestly not my favorite. Her head looks too tiny. I get it. She's a big beefy broad and she's a Hulk, but that head just doesn't really fit for me. Just saying. And again, I get it, perspective, all that stuff, but still, the head still looks a little bit too tiny to me. We also got the Rivals. Again, I used to have these separated out, but these like design covers are not my favorite. Like, a design cover is not my favorite cover. It's an interesting little art piece to see, but this is more back in the book type content for me rather than I want this on a cover. So I've just relegated these to just being included here and not doing a special call out for these Rivals variants. But here's another rival variant here on this Imperial 4. We got another She-Hulk cover option here, which I think I like this one better. This is the Simone DeMeo Stormbreaker artists like to keep an eye on kind of thing from Marvel. That's the idea behind the Stormbreaker covers. And I've been watching Simone DeMeo for a while now. Big fan. And then we got a Scotty Young option here as well. So they're always fun. You want to go that route. And then there is an incentive if you want to go for the 1 in 25. So the 1 in 25, as well as the tiny head version of She-Hulk, if you want to go that route. Again, not for me, but if you want it, I'm not going to fault you for getting it. But again, that's a big ask for being a 1 in 100. With that, the other book that I've really been enjoying that is non-cosmic related, and the surprise, because it's been a while since I've enjoyed Thor, but I have enjoyed so far the Mortal Thor storyline. It's kind of taken me a little bit by surprise, and I'm kind of on board for it. So with that, Mortal Thor #3 coming out. Want to see where this goes, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. This is the cover A, Alex Ross, awesome. Just probably going to get that. You got a Stormbreaker cover here as well. Another Marvel Rivals design cover. If you like Jeff the Landshark dressed as a pumpkin, I mean, have at it. Not for me, but I'm going to stick with the Ross. And then we've got other options here, as well as here with a Noto. And then there is a 1 in 25 that I'm actually a big fan of. I like this Dan Panosian. It's got like a really classic vibe, even with the trade dress and just the art and the colors and the whole layout with the, with the dialogue box, as well as a little special call out there. I like the throwback look, and I do like this cover quite a bit. In fact, I think I ordered one because, again, I'm a big Dan Panosian fan, so I'm a bit biased, but I do like this Beta Ray Bill cover a lot, this 1 in 25. So I found it for less than ratio, so I just ordered one. Again, personal thing, just like it. With that, on top of that being the top of the stack, you also know by now I'm a big X-Men fan, so I am keeping up to tabs basically with all of this Age of Revelation as best as I can. I'm behind a bit on the reading, but I'm still picking up all of these. That's right, all of them. I know, OCD, I can't help it. It's just I'm a collector at heart, and I'm getting them all. With that, let's see where we're going with Age of Revelation. We got Cloak or Dagger, not Cloak and Dagger, Cloak or Dagger here coming out this week. Never been my favorite characters. I know they got a TV show and everything, but we'll see. I'll give it a try. This is the A, not the one I'm going to get. Not any fault of the cover art alone, but you'll see why. There's a B. I think is that by Bagley? Looks kind of like, or is that Brett Booth? I can't really tell. Anyway, not getting that one either. There's a Nakayama. Big fan of David Nakayama. But yet, I'm still not getting this one because I'm getting the Ivan Talavera. One of my favorite covers this week as well. I'm a big fan of Talavera, and that's the one I'm going to be getting. With that, we are getting the character spotlights by Ricky Yagawa still on a bunch of these. And then we have some incentives if you want to go that route with the Nakayama getting the virgin cover treatment as the 1 in 50. And then, yes, that Talavera getting the 1 in 100 virgin treatment there as well. I'm fine getting the trade dress, but I do like that virgin cover quite a bit. I know it's just a black background, not a lot going on, but it is a good character spotlight piece, and I do like it quite a bit. So, but I'm just going to get the trade dress and save a few bucks and deal with it, even though I don't like the border for this event. I've said it before, but I don't like the side border. I like my borders to be across the top of the book when we're talking about events. Again, personal preference, I guess. But this is the Expatriate X-Men #1. So here we go. Another title to check out. Cover A. We've got a cover B option here with Colossus being featured. We've got Lionel Francis Yu. I really like this cover as well. I like the kind of espionage her around the corner with the weapon. I like it. It's just a very simple but very distinct piece, and it actually works with that side border. So I don't know. I like this one quite a bit. And then we got the character spotlights that we've seen for all of these by Yagawa. And then we do have a 1 in 25 option here if you want to go the incentive route. Also, continuing on, again, they're giving us like 4 installments every week. So this is like a lot. It's like $20 every week to keep up with this event, which, it is what it is. But we're also getting Undeadpool. That's right, Undeadpool. It looks like he's zombified, but I don't know. Not healing as well as he used to be. He's still kind of just looks like he's in pieces, but we'll see what happens with this at this point in the future of this event. So, Undeadpool, cover A. Is one by Gist? I think this one might be EM Gist. I'm not sure on the cover. Not 100%, but I do like the Sorrentino here. This is probably going to be the one that I get. I think that's pretty cool. There is other options as well. You've got the Revelation cover, the character Revelation. We've got this character spotlight again. pointed these out, and there is a 1 in 25 incentive by Declan Shavley if you want to go that route. Had the pleasure of meeting him in Baltimore and have a couple drinks. It's pretty cool. With that, I'm moving on to the last new X event book for this week, and that's X Vengers. Not my favorite cover A, so I'm going to look elsewhere for my copy of this one. Maybe I'm going to go with one of the Visions. They're both not bad. We've got a B, and then we've got another Vision, another cover here with the C. But honestly, I'm probably going to go with the Pablo Villalobos. Again, great character spotlight here. Danny Moonstar looking badass with those dual axes. I like this quite a bit. Then we've got another option here, with her with Cap, but I like that, the Lobos. And here's a 1 in 25. And then we do have the Lobos in a 1 in 50 version, but I'm fine getting the trade dress once again, saving that a few bucks. I don't enjoy the white background as much as the black background on the Talavera. This one looks more empty and undone, if that makes sense, even though it's quite the same as there's no background at all. But something about the black, contrasting with Dagger fits better than the white background here. This just looks kind of empty, but it's still beautiful. I'm going to get the trade dress, though. And just to keep you up to date, I'm not going to continue this on much longer because we're getting out of hand. I'll be sitting here for 5 minutes clicking away through all the different parts. But yes, by now we have a lot of different parts of this series have been rolling on and rolling on and rolling on. Here we go. No, we're not even there yet. This was last week. We're still on last week's books. There we go. This week, we had Cloak and Dagger 18. Part 18 of this crossover event. Again, not all essential tie-ins, but I'm trying to get them all. And then we get through 21. So 21 parts already. And this event just started this month. And we've got 21 installments. It's over that's over $100 I've had to spend on this event. Thereabouts. So yeah. I'm an X-Men fan. What do you want me to tell you? With that, let's get to the pull list. And with the pull list, there are some other books on top of those that I'm also going to be getting this week. Looking forward to. And I mentioned earlier that DC kind of takes the 5th week off. This is the 5th week of the month, 5th Wednesday of the month. And a lot of times DC, they don't do their regular books. They may do a few, and we'll see some in here. But mostly it's more about the minis, one-shots, annuals, etc. And speaking of annuals, we are getting an annual for Absolute Batman. So Absolute Batman annual number 1 for 2025. Yeah, I'm gonna grab this. Let's see what's going on here. Cover A is fine. I'm not getting the cover B because I don't like this version of the Batmobile with the big dump truck. I've not made a secret about that. I don't like the axe thing, and I don't like the dump truck. That's all. But other cool cover options here. But it's got the axe, so I'm not getting that one. I like the yellow on this one. Not bad, but I'm probably just going to get the A. And the 1 in 25 is not bad, but it's a real close-up look of, mid-fight Batman wiping the blood from his nose. Kind of cool. But I'm just probably going to get the A. Also, coming out this week, Batman and Robin Year 1. The Samney Wade run is completing. So this is the final part. Year 1. Going to get it. Wrap up the storyline, and hopefully finally catch up and read this whole thing because I'm way behind on reading this. But I know the creative team. I know once I'm going to sit down and read the whole thing, I'm going to enjoy it. So I didn't feel a rush or pressure to have to read this just yet. But part 12 coming out, wrapping it up. Fine with the A. That's probably going to be where I go. But there are some other options here if you want to go with the B or the C. And in fact, there's also a D and no incentives for you to worry about. All solid covers, but like I said, I'm probably just going to go with the A and save that buck because that's what DC does with the card stock. Limited trade dress covers, they cost $1 more, so I'll save a buck. Just go with the A. Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, Part 10 of 10 is also wrapping up, and I am also going to be picking this up to complete that set. Same story, behind on reading, but I'm sure it's going to be a hell of a story once I get all of them and have time to sit down with them. Cover A is fine, the Tim Sale, and I normally would go that way, but there are some good options here. So I'm up in the air so far. Well, actually, I'm not. The B is solid, the Harvey Dent Spotlight, but I am an Adam Hughes fan, so I'm going to get the Hughes in this case. Outside the norm, I think I've gotten the A's the whole way, but this is a Hughes, so I'm going to go get it. It's not my favorite hues, but I do like the for Tim. Little note down there at the bottom, and I do like the pulpy kind of old school vibe to it. But this is one or two hues coming out this week. But this is probably gonna be the one I get. Though the David Finch is also solid here. I do like David Finch quite a bit, and this is also a solid cover with the pumpkins and the detail on the Batman. You're getting the veins popping out there. It's also a solid cover. So a lot of good options here on that final part of Long Halloween, Last Halloween. But like I said, I'm probably going to go with the hues. Again, no incentives. So pick whichever one you like best and make that your book. Feral, continuing on, issue 17. I like this series as well. It's been an interesting read, taking me by surprise every turn here. So I'm on board for more. This is the cover A. The whole way I've been getting the B covers, the movie homages. So I'm going to stick with that process for these. So I'm getting this Halloween throwback. And there is a 1 in 10, which is the cover A, but without the trade dress. So if you want to go that way with the incentive, you can. Also grabbing Moonshine Bigfoot. I believe this is the last part of this little mini event. It's weird. It's kooky. It's fun. I want to see how this thing ends. So Moonshine Bigfoot, number 4 coming out. I think it's the last one. Yeah, part 4 of 4. And then continuing on, more anthology. Again, I've been a big fan of these anthology books for a lot of things with the horror books, the ECs, the books of that nature. But it also works with some of these character spotlights with the Predator, the Black, White, and Red, the Black, White, and Blood, etc. Boba Fett here. Looking forward to seeing what little stories we might get out of this one. Issue 2. A lot of cool covers here. This is Derek Chew on this one. You got a Miguel Mercado here on the second one. Is also a solid option. The third one is also a good one. And then the 1 in 25 by Kyle Hotz is pretty sweet. I like this, but I don't think I can go with another 1 in 25 this week. I already got the Panosian. I don't want to be spending too much on incentives, but I do like this one quite a bit. The black and whites are very well done in the contrast, and then that Papa Red also adds an extra little layer. I do like this cover quite a bit, but I'm probably going to get maybe this one of the other three. One of the other three will be fine. Also wrapping up, a lot of things wrapping up this month. Dr. Affer, Chaos Agent, Part 5. Finishing here. Don't know if this series or if another Affer series is coming yet, but this one is wrapping up with issue 5. So I'm going to pick this up. Don't know if I'm going to go A or B. Both pretty good options. Rod Reyes on the B. I might lean that way. I kind of like that. So I might go with the B here. Pale Knight also wrapping up. It's a little mini series, I believe. So the concluding issue of the Pale Knight. I like this run out of Mad Cave. Art has been fantastic. Covers have been great. So part 6, Peter Milligan. I'm on board, and I'm going to get this as well. Now, before we move on to our next segment, I want to remind anybody out there who hasn't tried Whatnot yet, use the link down below. Sign up, get yourself a free $15 off your first purchase. That's $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. You help out the channel. You get free $15 just to give it a try and pick yourself up something, whether it be comic related, toy related. There's a lot of stuff on Whatnot beyond just comics. So go take a look. Give it a try if you haven't already. Free money. With that, you want to take a shot on something else? You can take a shot on one of my blind picks. Again, these are books that I'm just going to go on a blind. I think they'll be solid, but I have no prior knowledge, no early access or anything like that. It's just me on a blind saying, you know what? I think based off the creative team, the IP, etc., that these are going to be pretty good. Or it doesn't matter. I'm going to get them anyway. And with that, the 2 picks that I have for this one are one of my favorite shows from back in the day, Supernatural. I know it's not for everyone. People make jokes about it, but I was a big fan of Supernatural. The Winchesters, it's a great show. Week in and week out. Yeah, it went longer than it needed to. 15 seasons may have been a stretch, but that's just, as they kind of keep upping the game. Like every big bad this, like the next big bad. Like you can only go so far before you run out of how much further can we push this. But at the same time, I like the idea of this comic because this is taking the Star Wars kind of angle. How Star Wars at Marvel, when it came back, they're going in between the things you know. So this series of comics coming from Dynamite is going to be in between seasons 1 and 2, as I understand it. There's a lot of text here explaining that, but as I believe I understand it, like I said, it's going to be between the first and second season. So we're going to get some classic Sam and Dean, some characters still alive. and some stuff you might not remember. I don't know. I'm looking forward to this, despite the fact that it is at Dynamite, so there's going to be way too many covers, and I'm not showing you them all. I'm just going to show you the basic options, which are the Clayton Crane, because they come with, virgin foils, yada, yada. Just giving you the basic options. You got a B, sort of. You got a third option here. Also a sketch cover and a photo if you want to go the photo cover route. I'm just going to go with the A. And like I said, give this a read because I do like the Winchesters, and I'm looking forward to this title. Looking forward to more stories. And again, this is not the first time. I covered it in Dollarman Digging before. Wildstorm DC, they've had some comics before based off of Supernaturals. They were mostly prequels. This is going to be in between continuity, which is kind of fun. And, it makes sense. The series and the show and the characters lend themselves to this sort of, hey, these stories and these adventures happened in between the seasons. So it makes sense. And I think it's a good idea. With that, Barbaric is also coming with I think it's a one-shot for the Black Knight. And I don't know. I haven't caught up and read all of Barbaric, but at a vault, what I have read has been entertaining with the talking sword and axes, etc. It's kind of fun. So I'm looking forward to this one for the Black Knight. I'm going to give this a shot as well. This is the cover A. Then there are some not suitable for work covers. Like this is censored with some of the blacks, so you can imagine what will be shown if you wanted to buy the polybagged not suitable for work edition or this not suitable for work edition. Basically, the solid blacks will be filled with bits that we can't show here. Or you can go the incentive route and get this bad boy. Pretty cool flail with the face and all that. Or you get the bloody version for the 1 in 25. So there's also that, which is also pretty cool. Again, I'm just going to get the A and just want to give this a read. With that, here are some books that I'm on the fence about whether I'm going to continue or not. Again, budget constraints, can't get everything. So some titles, they'll have to keep me on the hook if they want to keep me buying them. And I think the only book I have this week is this one, which is more of a surprise because I'm kind of interested, but I'm not 100% on board. And that's Battle World #2. We're featuring Mystic from CrossGen, which has really got me hooked in. And then we've got the New Universe Star brand. So I'm just really kind of curious of what other characters and like universes that Marvel owns that they might throw into this thing. So Mystic is an interesting choice, something I haven't thought about in years. So that's what's got my interest. But again, I'm not 100% sold to be on board for the whole series, but they got my attention for now. This is the cover A. There is a cover B option here, which is a connecting cover that connects the last issue's cover right there. So boom, pretty cool. Again, I like a good connecting cover set, which is why I spotlight them all the time. And then there is that Mystic cover, which by Greg Land, it's probably going to be the one that I get because, again, I haven't thought about the character in forever. There is also a 1 in 25 but with the Hulk here also by Land. Not bad. It's a pretty solid Hulk cover, but I'm probably going to get the Mystic. Moving on, a last little advertisement, if you will. If you need supplies, BCW probably has products for you. If you need bags, boards, long boxes, short boxes, CGC boxes, top loaders for your comics or cards, basically anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe, BCW's got products for you, and you can save 10% off your entire order by using my code RENA10. It's RENA10, 10% off your whole order. You help out the channel, you get yourself a discount. You got nothing to lose when you got to buy those supplies you got to get anyway. You might as well save some money. So use that code RENA10 over at BCW. Now, also saving myself some money, these are books that I'm not personally picking up that are on the rack that are kind of interesting. I want to keep tabs on them. I think I want to spotlight them also for those of you out there who do collect these books on the regular that I might not personally. And it's just to kind of keep us all on pace. These are still other books coming out this week. So with that, let's see what we've got on the rack this week that could possibly entice us to pick them up. Let's see. Our first one, Dark Horse. Oh, no, Image. I'm sorry. Image is continuing this series, Knights. I don't know a lot about this title, but I believe it was optioned like last year, and issue 1 got hot. But here's issue 16. So this storyline's still rolling. If you're interested and excited for this project, there's a lot of content already. 16 issues is nothing to sneeze at. Radiant Black, issue 38. I've said it many times. People keep telling me it's good. This massive universe. I'm just behind. So maybe one day I'll check it out like I did Invincible. But issue 38 of Radiant Black with a cover A, a cover B, as well as a 1 in 25, which is just a virgin version of that cover A. So, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 1 in 20, by the way, on the incentive there. Pick whichever you like. Again, this is just a book that I'm not up to date on. Nor am I up to date on Rat City, which, again, I can't believe this idea of like I always thought of it as just, hey, it's Spider-Man 2099, but for Spawn. But apparently it's something different and people like it. It's just, I've never been a big Spawn universe guy. I don't read the normal Spawn titles, so I'm just out of the loop. But issue 19, still rolling. Again, people still reading it. I can't believe this series has gone this long, but it is. A cover and a B cover option. Pick whichever one you like. Rockefellers continuing on with issue 10. Again, Ghost Machine, love what they're doing. I just couldn't get all the titles. This is one of the casualties of war that I couldn't keep up with. But you got a couple of options here with the A or the B if you're still picking this one up. Going back to Todd's Spawn universe, Sam and Twitch, the case files, also has a couple of cover options if you're keeping up to date and also up to issue 19. And again, this still seems like something I need to give a try because it's cops. I love a good buddy cop story, detective work, etc. Dark, macabre type of deal. This seems like something I would like, but it's just a title I'm just personally not getting yet. But issue 19, A or the B. I kind of like the B here, but the A is pretty solid too with the view through the fence. I like the perspective on that. So either would work. And maybe one of these days I'm going to give this a try. I gave this one a try, but it just ended up not being for me. This is Sleep, also coming out of Image. I think the hook is kind of given away already. That basically when the main character goes to sleep, he becomes this kind of monster, and this is dealing with his town and the fallout of that, etc. It just wasn't for. I don't know. It just didn't grab me. But we're already up to what is this, issue 6, I think. And we'll see where we go from there. But a couple of cover options there if you're keeping up with this. Go to Marvel. All new Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider, and we have yet an all new McFarlane homage here on it for that ASM was a 316, and we've done this for Spider-Gwen a couple times already. So, all right, there. But here you go. Meet Tantrum, the new former symbiote. All right, more symbiote stuff. A cover. There's a B. There's a Rivals design cover, a Day of the Dead look, cool. A 1 in 25, solid, and a 1 in 100, which is that B cover, sans the trade dress. If you want to go that route. Yeah, it's not bad. And her new costume's not bad either. But it's just, I'm just not in on Spider-Gwen right now. Nor am I in on Venom. Black, White, and Blood. Once again, this is one of those anthologies, but it can't get everything. It's another $6. $6 I'm just personally saving, but if it's good, tell me. Maybe I'll go find it and dig for it later. But here we got Eastman on a cover A. More and more text, yada yada. Actually, you know what? I did buy this one, not because I want to read about Venom. I bought this one because I really like the Ozeki, the Okazaki cover. I'm drawing a blank. The Okazaki cover here. I really like this, so I just bought it just for this cover. Because like I said, I was picking up that Panosian incentive, so I grabbed a couple extra books that I don't normally grab on a fly, and just for this cover, I grabbed this. I'll read it to see if it's any good inside too, but that was the main purpose. I like this cover. And then we also have a 1 in 25 Bradshaw, I believe, if you want to go that way. Is it Bradshaw or is it Stegman? Can't remember. Anyway, I think it's Bradshaw. But there you go. 1 in 25. Boom. Has a Blink and You'll Miss It. Book 3. Sounds interesting. Genre defying. New saga continues. I don't know if it's any good. If it's good, please tell me in the comments down below. I'll give it a shot. But Blink and You'll Miss It is already up to issue 3. I guess we're getting some multiple universes or mirror worlds or something like that based off of the cover. I'm just guessing. Not even reading the little synopsis there. But tell me if it's any good, and maybe I'll give it a try. There is a virgin version open order of that cover A, and there's also a 1 in 10 option as well. And then from here, we'll go on to the new number ones because, yes, it may be the 5th week, and we're near the end of the month. Month is wrapping up, but there are a number of number ones to cover here. A lot of them will be Halloween related because, yes, Halloween is on Friday. So our last ditch effort to get these in is coming this week at our shops. So let's see what we got. Not all Halloween themed, but there are a handful of them. Synthetics, Volume 1, Issue 1 of 4. Michael J. Straczynski giving us a new storyline over at Dark Horse. If you're interested on that sci-fi, Earth filled with dead zones and yada, yada, yada. Sci-fi stuff, one cover. That's it. If you want it, this is the one you're going to get. DC is giving us Superman Red and Blue 2025 special. Okay. It's a one-shot. Eisner nominated series returns with another one shot. Cool. Check it out. Want some more Superman stories? A or B, two options. Godzilla is making his way through America still. This time he's in Kansas City. I forgot that they were still doing this, the Godzilla versus America. I know they had Chicago, and I forget where they went from there, but here we are in Kansas City. So, okay. I don't know if he's stepping on the Chief Stadium or what, but that's what we're getting here with the cover A. There is a cover B, as well as some incentives, which are virgin and black and white versions of these two covers for the 1 in 25 and the 1 in 50. Then Sleepy Hollow returns. Yes, this is a continuation of the Tim Burton version of the Sleepy Hollow tale, the movie, but in comic form. Okay, I mean, kind of interesting. It's kind of cool covers here too. IDW, I think, is their dark. They're a little more horror angled products, but yeah, if you're interested, cover A, not bad, solid work there. Oh yeah, more stuff about Ichabod Crane. If you don't know the Sleepy Hollow story and the Headless Horseman, I don't know what to tell you, but yeah. So we got some more Ichabod Crane action here. A lot of cool covers. The B cover is not bad either. There's a C cover option here, as well as a 1 in 15 incentive, a 1 in 25 incentive, which I actually really like. This is kind of has like a old school Wuthering Heights type of novel vibe out of it, but that's a Joelle Jones that I kind of dig. And then a pretty cool Francavilla 1 in 50 with the horseman and a big ass skull. So kind of like that one too. Turtles. That's right. The Turtles also getting an annual for their troubles. So yeah, annual 2025. If you want to get that. Cover A. B cover is pretty solid. If you're a Turtle fan, I like that one. This pumpkin-y one is also pretty fun. And then we got some incentives with a 1 in 25, as well as a 1 in 50 by Eastman, if you want to go that way. Marvel still collecting their online webtoon comics or whatever. This time it's Rivals King in Black, collecting Infinity Comics 13 through 18, first time in print. Yeah. I mean, hey, any way to make a buck. These things could get interest down the line, I guess. I don't know. Because they are kind of unique. It's different. Like, it's not the first time they've done this either. Like when they had like the web comic and then they went to print with them. It's just seemed to be getting a lot more and more of these lately out of Marvel. Beauty Volume 2 is back, but this time over at the new publisher, Ignition. So this new publisher, Ignition Press, is giving us The Beauty, which is going to be adapted to FX this fall by Ryan Murphy, American Horror Story and all that stuff. So could be interesting, could be popular. Yes, people, the first volume, I think over an Image, that got a lot of interest and a lot of heat when this was Option News was announced, but the series is coming. So when it does, it'll be interesting to see if this secondary volume series also picks up interest or if it will remains on the first one. I don't know. We'll see. Cool cover though. A lot more text there, and even more because it was a lot. But yeah, this one not bad. Neither is the B cover. I like that as well. Pretty cool look. And then there is a 1 in 5, just low ratio incentive, but there's a 1 in 5 cover there. Also pretty interesting. I know very little about Cult of the Lamb. I do know the initial series and some of those incentives got some heat because it's a kind of a niche kind of thing, cult following for the Cult of the Lamb, if you will, video game thing or another. But here we go. We got an all new special coming out. So out of Oni, if you're interested, you're a fan, here you go with a special. You got an A, you got a B, a sketch, as well as a foil edition of that cover A, if you as your options. No incentives, but there you go. Dick Tracy Halloween, because why not? Yeah, Dick Tracy comics still coming out of Mad Cave, so might as well have a Halloween special featuring the Kid. Remember the Kid? Kind of annoying character from the movie. That Warren Beatty one, remember? I'm a big fan of the Kid, but there you go. A or a B. Pick which one you like if you like them. And then we've got this title, Steak presents Jessamy. Don't know much about it. I like the covers. This cover's not bad. This cover here is also not bad, but at the same time, I know I made comments about why is she holding the sword like that? Because if you look at the sword, there's a spike that's going right in the middle of her palm. Like, why are you holding it like that? The handle's right there. Just hold the handle. It's still a cool look image, but I just don't understand that she's stabbing her hand with a sword. And then there's also a 1 in 10 option here by Ivan Tao, if you want to go with that. Oh, sorry, the 1 in 10 should be down out of the way. But at the same time, it's also not split perfectly down the middle. So that's also throwing me off. Like that kind of thing, it bothers me because it's a little askew. I know it's intentional, but it's still kind of throwing me off that it's right down the center of the chest, but not on the face. Like, I don't know. It's just irking me. Just it's like one of those little off-center kind of things. I don't know why. It just is. Chitara. They're still making Chitara like spin-offs and one-shots. I don't know how well. Like, I guess Thundercats is doing well, all of these titles, but yeah, here's another Chitara series. World Breaker. Cool, I guess. Not for me, but they're still coming out with a lot of covers because it's Dynamite. The Perillo here is nice. I like it. But outside of that, there's an Ivan Tao that it's all right. It's not my favorite. I'd go with the Perillo personally. Same here, Perillo. And then the animation, which is cool, but I still go Perillo if I were to get one, but I'm not. Maleficent is starting another volume of her own. So volume 2 of Maleficent featuring Disney villains. Okay, that's fine. You got more stories to tell, more one-shots, minis, whatever you want to call these. Nothing wrong with that. Just way too many covers. That's all. We got more explanation about this being volume 2, yada yada. All solid. If you like Maleficent, these are solid covers. I mean, that B is pretty cool. Captures the the look of the characters. Same here with the C, and then there's a sketch, and then finally there is another option here. And then again, there's multiple variations because it's Dynamite. They got to have like 20 different covers, different versions of each of these. So help yourself if you want them. And if that's not enough, Dynamite is also doing blind bags because I know, love it or hate them, they're here. For now, again, they are here. Everyone's doing them. Marvel's got one on the way. DC's been doing them. Keen Spot, and I know Monsters is a whole thing of its own, but Dynamite is also doing them. We talked about the Terminator one last week, and now Dynamite is giving us 2 more this week, which, again, it's up to you. $15, I think, on these blind bags is a bit much for me, but it is what it is. Again, there's mystery things in here. I think there's sketch options or something. Let's see. This blind bag contains 3 separate limited edition copies of the exciting first issue that features unique variant covers drawn at random from a range of art exclusive to this offering. So there's special covers in here. Fine. So if you didn't like one of the other 20 versions of this cover, there's 3 more. So yeah, cool. They're also doing it for Supernatural, which, yeah, it enticed me for a second. Then I'm like, you know what? I don't need to be getting in on this because, again, they're like $15 a bag. That's just too much for me. If you give me a regular cover price version of a blind bag, okay, I'm more akin to just, okay, I'll give it a try. It's if I'm going to get just the A or I'll take a shot to get something different, I don't know what it's going to be. All right, maybe I'll take a shot if I don't have a lot of feeling one way or another over which cover I get. But if you're going to charge me 3 times more than the regular cover, you're probably not getting my money. Just saying. Personal thing. I don't need to gamble that much. Same deal here. 3 separate limited edition covers, unique to this offering, etc. Cool. Nothing against it. If you want to go and do it, go for it. It's just not for me. With that, Facsimiles. So we're going to go here. Facsimiles. We got 2 offerings, I believe, this week, and neither from the big 2. We're going to start off with Archie, of all things, as we have this classic Betty and Veronica getting the facsimile treatment. So Archie's Girls, Betty and Veronica issue 40, classic cover. And then they're doing like interior panels, I guess, as variants on this. So if you want to get the Betty pinup cover, you can, or you can get the Veronica pinup cover as the cover. Cool. I don't know. I'm not getting this, but if you're an Archie fan, you got options. This trend is interesting. Apart from the fact that we're getting treasury-sized editions of a lot of books these days because you want to see the art in these huge volume size, think of how many black and white titles we're now been getting. Like going back to Wolverine the Revenge, and now we're getting Dracula in black and white. It's cool, but are we double dipping everything? And why are you charging a premium to take color away? I guess it costs more. I don't know, but it's $7. That's not what the initial issue costs. So it just, to me, it seems weird to charge more to take stuff off away. Anyway, black and white version of Dracula. You got an A and you got a B. If you want to get that Dracula series in a gorgeous black and white art, Martin Simmons, God bless you, go for it. I'm fine, but it's out there. Along with these later prints. We do have a lot more later prints, and yeah, if you're not keeping up to date with your books, solid options to keep up with the storylines, like a ninth printing. That's right, ninth printing of Absolute Batman #1. 9 times. They've reprinted this 9 times. Or I guess 8 times. You get what I mean, though. All right. If you don't have a copy yet, here's a ninth chance, ninth bite at the apple. That said, recent issues also getting second chance options with the Bane stuff. And again, some of these have gone up in price. So here you go. You want to read them. You don't want to pay a premium price. This is your way to go. Issue 10 and issue 11 getting second print treatment here as part of this Bane storyline, which has been all the rage and pretty good. It's not just Batman. Absolute as a whole is doing very, very well. Absolute Superman issue 10 also getting the second print treatment, and Wonder Woman #11 getting that second print as well. Image giving us Escape #1, a third printing. So yeah, it's doing well. As is Ghost Pepper getting a third printing on #1. Cool. I like both titles. I'm picking up both of those, but I'm fine. I already have them covered. Skinbreaker, also solid title, getting the second print treatment with 2 cover options. So I'm still trying to figure out why we need multiple cover options on second printings, but they're doing it. And I believe they're also giving a second print of that big treasury one that I mentioned a second ago. I'm pretty sure. I didn't want to put it in here because it looks just like the other one, but big version, $15, I think. Transformers. Okay, I get why we do 2 of these, because they want to do an Autobot and they want to do a Decepticon. I get it. I don't know if it's necessary, but I get it. And they're doing it. This is Transformers #24, wrapping up Daniel Warren Johnson's run on the title. Great run, great series. And then Kirkman and Mora taking over after that. But I did love the Daniel Warren Johnson, Jorge Corona run. It was fun. Everybody probably grabbing this one because you got Logo on the cover of it. Second print for Deadpool Batman #1. Yeah, Lobo mashed up with Wolverine. How could this not sell well? What a novel idea. Cool. If you want it, there you go. Right there, front and cover. He was a pinup in the back of the book before. So now he's on the cover. And if you don't want that, you can get the 1 in 25 edition, because why not do a second print with a 1 in 25 as they've normally done? And yeah, I think it's the Bagley. And if that's not enough, hey, why not do a 1 in 50 that nobody wants? That's right. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not here. The Frank Miller legend. But not everything has been great of late. Just being honest. And I don't need a virgin version of this. Well, I still don't know why the hell they're underwater. Why are they underwater? What are they doing? Whatever. But there's a 1 in 50 in case, because again, a lot of people probably ordered the second print, so they did these incentives that I have next to no interest in, personally. But I'm not a big fan of these anyway. The second print 1 in 25s. occasionally they could be interesting, but Marvel Zombies also Greg Land cover getting the second print treatment, and the Ryan Brown 1 in 25 Virgin, solid option, solid choice for this. I like this. Yeah, it's kind of messed up. It gives you that. I think I did the mummy joke the first time around. It looks like Arnold Vosloo's Mummy from the 1999 Brendan Fraser movie. But yeah, so a Virgin version of it still pretty good because that Spider-Man is solid. And yeah, 1 in 25 if you want to go that way. More second prints. It killed everyone but me at a Mad Cave getting a second print. Ignition giving Murder Podcast #1 a second print option. We're getting a third print for Post Malone's Big Rig. So I know he was at New York Comic Con. People getting his sig on things. Post Malone doing comics. And showing up at WWE events too. But here's a third print and then a second print for the second issue. And they're all double-sized issues. So I don't. So that's just normal then. I don't know why. Anyway, if you want them, go get them. Muppets. Yes, some of these Muppet books have taken off on the aftermarket. That is true. I don't know what will occur with the final installment. It's possible. Infinity Gauntlet Miss Piggy could see some interest from collectors and on the secondary market with this Battle World #2. This was delayed. This was supposed to come out last week, but it got delayed to this week. But here you go. Miss Piggy. Cool. And like I said, some of the other ones did well. I mean, the one book, the Rolf Secret Wars, was the #1 book last week, just based off of sales. I mean, selling them for like $35. That's crazy to me. But here we go. That's it. That's it for the Muppet variants. So if you want to collect them all, there's only 10. So it's not an impossible task. But as I said, a couple of these are selling at a premium these days. At least 3 of them were by last check. However, Tron, not so much. So it's not just the box office where it's failing, but also in the aftermarket. Nobody seems to be really chasing these Tron Ares covers, but they are also wrapping up this week with the final installment with the Black Cat #3, I believe here. Yeah, so here's our last one. Again, not a bad cover. A lot of red, because that's the color theme for the Tron Ares. But that is it for this set, which had, what do we had? Another 10. So another 10 issues to collect if you wanted those. End of the month, also finishing up at Marvel, the zombie variants. They kind of held these to the end to be closer to Halloween, makes sense. But now we're getting a rush and a pile to finish up this set as well. I believe 10 issues of these. So this week we are getting a solid 5, I believe. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider, Perillo doing Spider-Gwen, zombified. I like it. I like it. It's not bad. Maria Wolf giving us this Black Cat one. I like this as well. It's messed up. It's creepy. A lot going on, but it's if you like Maria Wolf's style, I like it. Again, that's a surprise. Like I like a lot of these zombie ones this week. Here's the Death of the Silver Surfer. If you want to go that way, not my favorite, but still not a bad Ron Lim. I like this White Queen. I think it's Joelle Jones doing this one. It is messed up. It's creepy. You got the skull and the red eye and the diamond shining eye, like and the crystal diamonds falling everywhere. It's just a cool look. I dig it. And then there's a Thor. So we got a Thor, zombied Thor, classic pose, cool. And that's the zombie month. Also wrapping up this week for the month. Yeah, as I said, there's a full 5 because that Spider Girl got delayed from last week to this week. Not Spider, I'm sorry. No, just 4. I thought we just went through 5 of them. Oh, the Death of Silver Surfer was the one that got delayed. That was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago, but that got pushed. That's the one that threw me off. All right. Anyway, we had no Cheesecake last week, but we got Cheesecake back this week. So for you fans, Cheesecake, and let's also call it not suitable for work titles. They're kind of in a mix here. We're going to start with the Cheesecake first. And it's mostly main title, mostly main title stuff, but we do got a Red Sonja. So Sonja Reborn, issue 3. Yeah, it's Sonja. We're going to get covers here. A's and B's and C's and D's, as well as a photo. Got to have that photo cosplay. It's Sonja, so we got to have our photo cosplay. There you go. Enjoy. Pick whichever one you like. And then we'll go over to Marvel and get our Black Cat action on. That's right. Hughes giving us Chesty LaRue here. I'm not complaining. I like it, but it is what it is. So Hero or Menace. I'm still gonna try to read what's in here for the Black Cat, but I know a lot of people are picking these up because there's a lot of really nice covers here. Gurihiru doing a Stormbreaker cover. Can't complain about that. Another option here. I dig this one as well. So, and then well, design cover mixed in and with seafood Namor. This one, all right. Ignore this one, but it's part of the group, so I had to show you all the covers. But yes, this is not cheesecakey. But the one at 25 by Ruan, good. I like it. Pretty cool. And then yeah, let's bring back this one and make it version 1 at 50. Awesome. I like them. I do like them. But it is in this segment for a reason. Just like, hey, White Queen, David Nakayama. Again, cleavage sells. It does. Only cover here, too. So not a lot of options. Just this one. But it's a good option. Blue Palo Verde. Don't know much about this out of Mad Cave, but the cover kind of grabbed me. So I figured I'd throw it in here. And then kind of leaning into the more non-suitable for work titles of themselves, like even the content is not for everyone or for normal, not for everyone to view. Let's just say that. I shouldn't say normal, but you know what I mean? It's not for everyone. Money Shot. I think this book is hilarious. I enjoy it. Issue 5. It's wrapping up this mini event. So with that, issue 5, A cover, they got a B cover, and then you've got some polybagged censored version. So yes, there's stuff censored out of here. You can guess with some of the blacks to be removed what it would be shown. Just like this cover here, Tulalote, with those harsh blacks would not be there on the polybagged edition. Or this option here. Fun stuff. And then again, I'm just taking for the content wise. Ignition Press, number 2 for Voyeur. Pretty cool. I like the kind of stacked TVs and the focus. It's almost like and then being a little bit fuzzy. Kind of reminds me of trying to watch those old Prism late night movies or Skinamax from when you actually subscribe to those channels, but you could occasionally get like quick views. I don't know why it reminds me of that, but it does. But yeah, Voyeur number 2 coming out. So yeah, Steamy Heist. And then there's a B cover option here as well. So pick up whatever you like. And then for covers, I basically only got one cover here for you, but I didn't have another place for it. Could have put it in, I don't know where else I could have put it, but it is Jim Lee. And you all know I'm a big Jim Lee fan. And Essentia. I mean, this has got to be one of the weirdest release titles ever. I mean, just the last issue just came out last week. Now you're going to hit us up with issue 30 the week after. Okay. But Jim Lee, cool. And he did the first issue, version of the first issue way back when. So it's kind of a callback there. But here's the regular cover, cover A. And then we'll take the same cover and use it multiple times because we'll take the trade dress off of it. And that will be our 1 in 25. Still Jim Lee. Then we'll take the color away, and that will be our 1 in 50 for this same book. Now, let's re-add the color and also add a signature, and now it's our 1 in 100. I don't know how the signature is going to look. That's just my version of it. Just putting it in there somewhere. And then if you have a 1 in 5, I don't know who's ordered 500 copies of this outside of the publisher themselves, but there's a metal 1 in 500 also signed by Jim Lee. Same cover, though. If you want it, just get the regular one, would be my advice. But yeah, do what you want with that. Yes, these things will probably be hard to find, impossible to find down the line. But does that matter? It's up to you to decide. With that said, let's get to the best of the week because there are a few things that did stand out from the pack for me, and these are my favorites for the week. First up, I think I made no secret about the fact that I did love this cover. And we are going with the incentive being the Cloak or Dagger number 1 by Ivan Talavera as my favorite incentive of the week. Not a ton of choices. I did think about that Panosian here, but especially since this one, the trade dress is fine and I'm getting the trade dress, but this is still very nice cover. So I had to give it that special shout out. And then with that, I decided to go for the regular cover of the week, which I could have put the regular version of that one here, but I went with the Villa Lobos because, as I said, once you take the trade dress away for the version of this, I actually prefer the trade dress on this one. So that's why I kind of went this way with this because both are very good covers. Could have went a coin flip for me, but the Pablo Villa Lobos here with the Danny Moonstar dual axes, the trade dress I think helps fill the white. But with that, those are my favorites of the week. You don't have to agree. Tell me which ones are your favorite down below. What was your favorite cover, incentive or regular? And with that, that's all I got for you. So thanks for stopping by and checking this out every week. This is my rundown of all the new releases. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, even with the delays of the last couple of weeks of this being a little bit late, but trying to get back to a normal schedule. Going to bring out some more content soon. So hopefully you're on board for that and looking forward to that. And I may even put some new content over on Toy Informer because I've kind of neglected it beyond doing shorts for a while now. But I've got plans. I've got ideas. I just need more time. And with that, thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll see you all later with some more content. All right.